Hi there. So in this video, we're going to be exploring the machining workspace. And currently you can see there is a job already occupying this particular milling machine here. So we're going to have a quick look through the different regions of the workspace. Now firstly, here on the left, we have the operations list. And this is currently broken down into a whole series of operations and a couple of different setups. These are how the operations that you select will present once they have been set up appropriately. And the settings and parameters for these operations all will appear in this lower pane here. So if, for example, we click on this first face milling operation, we can see how under setup we've got our tool coordinate setup position. In strategy, we have got the method for how the actual tool path is going to be calculated. Then under parameters, we've got the details for tolerancing and the other things the machines need to check for. Links allows us to determine what the entry and exit strategies are going to be, as well as things like safe levels and how transitions between operations are going to work. We then have the tool details here, which allows us to obviously define our tool. We have the feeds and speeds calculations here, which in this case these are all predefined, but you can set those accordingly. Quite often these will carry over from the tool settings that you've got, as well as ENCY will try to do some of that calculation for you. We have the workpiece set up here, which is quite often defined at the beginning of the job. So 9 times out of 10 you'll do the workpiece definition at the beginning of the job, and that will automatically be then carried forward as the result of the previous operations, thus only needing to work on the material that remains as opposed to treating it as a fresh new block every single time. We also here have the fixture settings as well, and as we can see there is a vice that's currently defined in there. And this ellipsis here allows you to go through more parameters. We've got transformations, macro and part settings turned off and workpiece settings turned on in this one. These merely hide what's currently there. So further to this, we also have the link setting here that will automatically calculate the links between the operations. We have parameters for the current operation, so that allows us to open parameters for this particular selected operation here. And as we can see, it opens up the tool settings in the majority there. We also have the option to reset the current operation, so if you've made a series of sequential changes and you're not 100% sure of it and you're not totally happy with it, you can reset that back to the original toolpath as calculated. And this allows you to generate the toolpath afresh. Now, further to this, we also have a few tools up here. These will change dynamically according to which of the environments that we're currently in, whereas these tools remain static throughout, as do the navigation tools here and the coordinate system tools down here. So we have smart snaps turned on. This is always quite useful to have, but obviously you've got the option to switch it off should you so wish. We have our two different measurement tools here. So the measure tool allows you to grab larger, more global parts, and the geometry tool allows you to take very precise measurements of the geometry of a particular component or part of the model as well. We have the post-processor option here, which allows you to actually generate functional G code or the programming code for robots, if that's the kind of machine that you're using. You can also generate machining reports as well, and you can have a look in the complete tool catalog that's available as well. You can also import previously defined tool sets, as well as exporting the tool set for the job itself. Now this next section is more about double checking and reassuring yourself that everything's correct. So you've got the machine control panel and the graph of the axes here. This allows you to double check current positioning and trends in motion as well. So were we to look at the machine control panel now, that gives us the specific axes for the specific axial inputs for each of the machine axes. And if we take a look at the graph of the axes as well now, that will give us a clear readout of what the motion ranges are going to be throughout the entirety of the job. So as we can see here, we've got progression over distance traversed throughout the entire operation, as well as the distance traversed by the axis specifically on this scale. Finally, we've got verify compare. Now this allows us to determine just how close to final dimension our part is. And we have a tolerancing system here for it. I've just zoomed in so you can see it a little bit more clearly. And beyond that, we've got the tool Reach Inspector as well. Now, this is a tool that allows you to determine whether or not all of the parts that you're going to be working on are immediately available to the tool itself. This is predominantly available in milling operations and in turning operations. It's something that's much harder to calculate in robotics operations, and there are different methodologies for that. However, this is our very quick and brief overview of how the machining workspace is laid out and what all of the settings and operations available in here are. The next video, we're going to be talking about the simulation space. Thank you.